Meeting of the Finance Committee to order on November 4th, 2020. As chair of the Finance Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04 and subsequent extensions, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. To join by phone, dial 1-929-205-6099. The meeting ID is 874-5315-8467. And the password is 548423. The public may also view the meeting via channel 16. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided on the City of Nashua's website at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and the Nashua Public Library. If anybody has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Alderman Patricia Clee.
I am here. I can hear everyone. I am currently alone and I am social distancing.
Alderwoman Elizabeth Liu. I don't see her. Is she there? Anybody see her?
I don't believe she's.
Okay. And clerk, I am present. I'm in this room alone. I am practicing social distancing and I can hear everyone. Alderwoman at Large Shoshana Kelly.
I'm here. I'm alone. I can hear everyone.
Alderman at Large Brandon Michael Laws.
Alderman Laws messaged me to say that he's ill today and he won't be able to make the meeting.
Okay. Alderman at Large Michael B. O'Brien Sr.
I am present. I am alone and I can hear the proceedings.
And Mayor Jim Donches.
I am alone here at the living room and I am social distancing.
Okay, so we have
Before we begin, I wanted to congratulate our three committee members here on re-election to the legislature, the state legislature. Mike, Trish, and Linda.
Thank you.
I'm glad you've done all a great job for the city, and I'm sure you'll continue. So it's really nice to have you back in Concord. All right. The first item is public comment. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak to the committee? Next, communications. First from Kelly Parkinson, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Harriet Gathright.
Okay, can I acknowledge that Alderman Dow is on with us, I think, right? I think that's the only other alderman, right?
I don't see him, but yes, is Alderman Dowd here?
Yes.
Hi, Alderman Dowd.
Okay.
How you doing?
Oh, there you are. Oh. All right. Alderwoman Harriet Gathright.
All right. I motion to accept, place on file, and approve 1-year software subscription in the amount of $62,000 and enter into a professional service agreement in the amount of $92,923 with Workday Adaptive Planning in the total amount of $154,923. Funding will be through Departments 122 Information Technology and 191 School.
All right.
Year
Is,
2021 escrows and account 71228 computer software by roll call.
is there anyone here on this item?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, John Griffin, CFO.
Okay, Mr. Griffin, go
Thank you,
ahead.
Mr. Mayor and members of the Finance Committee. This is a request as we had planned for through the escrow process. The school department put $100,000 towards the subscription process and the integration of the software, and the city did likewise. So we appreciate that funding. Mr. Donovan and I have, over the last several months, investigated Workday Adaptive Planning, which is a budgeting and planning solution. Adaptive Insights was purchased by Workday, which is a large provider of ERP software. And we were looking forward to a system that would help us consolidate, if that's the right word, the various components of a budgeting process to include Access Database, Lawson, Word, Excel, et cetera. So this, we thought, would be a real complement to our current financial systems. And Mr. Donovan suggested that as a proof of concept, we start with the school department first. Their Access Database is kind of seen its end of life, and we think that this particular software would enable us to help them out significantly. This is a cloud-based subscription, so it's a subscription. It's not hosted internally. And the beauty of that is it doesn't put a drag or doesn't take any resources from our current information technology staff. The information that we put in the cloud is the city's to own. The subscription is the $62,000, as was mentioned. And the integration, how we're going to actually use it with our systems, is the statement of work that's also attached, which is the professional services part of it. The City of Nashua is a member of the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, NCPA. That cooperative group more or less vets these softwares and develops pricing. And our pricing was a 20% discount off the list that derived the $62,000 in planning. We hope to run this parallel with the process that's currently in place at the school, as they'll be starting soon, and move into the city, maybe not this year, but probably next year. So again, we would appreciate the approval of this particular subscription agreement, along with the statement of work for the professional services. And I'd be happy to answer any questions anyone would have. Thank you.
Any questions, comments? Alderwoman Kelly.
Thank you. And thank you for that explanation. I wanted to just ask in terms of the type of software that's used with cities. Is this a typical, do other cities of our size use this software?
It's interesting, Alderwoman Kelly, the government space, especially cities and towns, they tend to do what we've done in the past. They cobble together to the best of their abilities, Excel, PowerPoint, Word documents. That's basically what we've done, and we've done it successfully. The individuals that I've talked to at Workday Adaptive, they look at the government space as kind of a untapped territory for them. So we would be the first install in my opinion, in New Hampshire government. But certainly, being one of the largest cities in New Hampshire, there would be probably a good opportunity for most of us to use this type of software. But the key here is that it brings all of those things together that I mentioned, and it should provide both the nuts and bolts of the financials, as well as the ability to create graphics, text, et cetera, and a nice comprehensive presentation.
All right.
My deck, one other thing, if I may, Mr. Mayor, there's a list of some of the government agencies that have used or currently in installed base. Included in your packet, examples of other government customers that include ports, water districts, airports, et cetera. So it's widely used. I believe they have over 5,000 customers. And now that they've been purchased by Workday, it's a good complement to their total ERP solution.
Anything else? Any other questions, discussion? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Clee.
Yes.
Clerk says
Yes.
yes. Alderwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman Law, oops, forgot. Alderman O'Brien
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. Another communication from Kelly Parkinson, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Harriet Gathright.
I motion to accept, place on file, and approve the purchase of winter salt in the amount of $455,000 from Granite State Minerals of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Eastern Minerals, Inc. of Chelsea, Mass. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund, General, Account Classification, 61 Supplies and Materials by roll call.
Is there anyone from Public Works on the call?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Johnny Barrow, Street Superintendent.
Okay,
So this is our annual salt expenditure. It's a budgeted item out of the street department operating budget, and it's for our winter salt. The state of New Hampshire awarded the contract again to Granite State and Eastern Minerals, and we're able to piggyback on that low bid as a government contract, as we've been doing in the past few years.
and this is a requirements contract, meaning we pay for only what we use.
That is correct.
Alderwoman Kelly.
I just want to know how I get that sweet, sweet background you got there.
It's an option I found.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing this forward. I know you guys do a really good job for us in the winter, keeping the roads clear. So
We've got a great team. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Alderman O'Brien.
Alderman
Yes.
O'Brien?
Thank you. Yeah, this is one of those perennial things that unfortunately we have to realize snow is coming, but it's definitely needed by your organization. And it's good to see, as what Alderman Kelly has noticed, the sun never sets on the DPW. Yes.
Yes. What did they used to say? Snow, sleet, hail, they're always there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
All right, any other questions, comments? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Clee.
Yes.
Clerk says yes. Alderwoman Kelly.
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. Another communication from Kelly Parkinson, Purchasing Manager. Alderman Harriet Gathright.
A motion to accept, place on file, and approve the continuation of service of First Electric Motor Services, Inc. of Woburn, Mass. for the rebuild of one of the raw water pumps in the wet weather facility in the amount of $27,530. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater Fund, Wastewater Account Classification, 54 Property Services by roll call.
Is Mr. Boucher on the call?
Yes, Mayor, I am. David Boucher, wastewater superintendent. As mentioned, the one of our 20 million gallons per day pumps failed in our wet weather facility. And we sent out the motor to First Electric. Because of the age of the pump, it's not very old, so it's still a good pump. We sent out the motor. They disassembled it to look at it to see if it was worth rebuilding. They can rebuild it. We'd like to utilize their service since it's a part on their floor. So what they do is they'd rewind the stator of this pump. We get a warranty, And we've used them for a lot smaller pumps. We're very happy with their services. And this is cost savings for us by having these pumps rebuilt with the motors.
Anyone have any questions? Alderwoman Kelly.
On fire tonight. Thank you for being here, Mr. Boucher. And, I appreciate all the hard work you've done to kind of get us back in working order. So my question is more general here. Obviously, it sounds like this water pump needs to be taken care of. I believe we talked about this and maybe you've already provided it and I just forgot. But I just wanted to know if we could sort of get a synopsis of the work that's been done in the last few years and, what the maintenance plan is so that we don't end up in the same spot in, 5-10 years.
Of this particular building or the wastewater facility in general?
I mean, I think
it's
it's funny. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I feel like, everything you've brought forward is stuff that we need. But I feel like, oh, we got another wastewater thing. So I would just love to know, where we are with things. And, if someone comes to us and asks, we have a pretty good handle on it. I know you've been doing a great job.
No, we have a lot of projects going on at the wastewater facility. Obviously, we've got upgrades to our energy recovery facility. That's also at the wastewater facility. Primary tanks are being upgraded. We finished the water booster station upgrade at the wastewater plant. We're finalizing the 6 water booster stations in the city. Upgrades to those. We got another 7 more that we'll be working on. The wet weather facility, we have an upgrade in that one going on. We have 2 new bar racks. They're rather large bar racks. They're cleaning mechanisms. But that is going well. We have 1 installed, another one going in. Hopefully those will be online. We tested 1, but hopefully they'll be online by I want to say January. They'll both be tested by them, but there's smaller punch list items that are tied to that project that have to be finalized. So things are going good there. This is one of those pumps, you never know when they're going to die. The facility runs pumps 24/7. This one didn't run as much, but sometimes it's not good to run them. We exercise them. This particular building, it's tough because to exercise a pump, you have to have flow going through it. The only time this building gets flow is during torrential rains, whenever we have over 50 million gallons. So it's tough to exercise these. Sometimes they're susceptible to lightning strikes, so it's tough to maintain. But I got a great staff. Maintenance crew stays on top of these pumps and motors. But it's an aged facility still, even though we get a lot of new stuff. We're constantly trying to keep up with all the updates, new things, new regulations coming down. We have to meet those. So there's new projects on the horizon, but I think we're sitting a lot better than we were. We've come a long way. And like I've mentioned before, is that, it's important for us to, instead of putting out fires, kind of stay ahead of it and, maintain all this stuff. And so far we're doing a real good job, but fortunately things break. So
who is the original manufacturer of the pump?
This was I want to say it was I think this one's at ABBA. I have to go back and verify that. This one, ABS pump on this one. We have typically ABS, ABBA pumps, and Gorman-Rupp pumps. We like to stay with similar brands, but some brand names don't make the large size pumps. But Gorman-Rupp is the most typical pump we see through the town. It's the ones that are going in all the pump stations. The larger ones, few manufacturers of real large pumps. So ABS is this one, and then we have a few ABBA ones in the facility.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, could you please call?
I'm sorry, Jim, if I could just respond.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. And thank you for that synopsis. I really appreciate you and your team. And it sounds like, especially with the drought, it would have been especially hard to exercise this pump in the last even year. We know we
It is.
haven't had enough rain. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All right, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Clay,
Yes.
clerk says yes. Alderwoman Kelly,
Yes,
Alderman O'Brien,
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. Next, a communication from Kelly Parkinson, Purchasing Manager, Alderman Harriet Gathright.
I motion to accept, placed on file, and approve Amendment 3 in the amount of $158,400 to extend the contract for 3 years with Flow Assessment of Auburn, New Hampshire for the combined sewer overflow monitoring program. Funding will be through Department 169 wastewater, Fund wastewater, account classification, 53 professional services by roll call.
Mr. Boucher?
David Boucher, wastewater superintendent. Yeah, this company has been monitoring our combined sewer overflows. They have flow meters at 8 different locations throughout the city to monitor. And what combined sewer overflow is if the sewer pipe gets overwhelmed during a heavy rainstorm, happens to be a section of the city where there's catch basins tied into the sewer. If it does get overwhelmed by heavy rain, there is a relief into the river. So by permit, we have to monitor all these sites. We have to report them monthly. We do report them on our website when they occur. So this company's been doing this service for us for a couple of years. We had another company in, I think, 2015 through 18, didn't work out so well. We utilized this company before 2015 as well. We're happy with their services. Typically, we've been renewing it every year. We're getting a discount if we take on a 3-year contract with them. It's beneficial to us. They're very responsive when there's a piece of equipment failure. Their reports come back well. They're easy to interpret, and we can utilize the data to submit to regulatory agencies. So we'd like to continue their service for a 3-year span, which saves us almost $10,000 if we do 3 years versus annual.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Alderman Clay,
Yes.
clerk says yes. Alderwoman Kelly,
yes,
Alderman O'Brien,
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes. Motion passes.
I got a
Thank-
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually for Mr. Boucher.
Yes.
Are you familiar with Northeastern Boulevard where we get that water, like go halfway up our cars at times, out coming up to almost the window?
I'm not familiar with that. No.
Just curious. 'Cause we're talking about somebody monitors the water and stuff. I was wondering if do we actually monitor water from the rain as well? Or are you just talking about at the site?
No, we do have rain gauges to measure how much rain we get in different sections of the city. There are 3 rain gauges that this company monitors. But no, nothing above ground. It's, well, except for those rain gauges. But we don't measure water above ground. It's usually what comes out pipes from underground and out the river bankings.
Okay.
So above ground, nothing with the river level
Okay.
would be rain.
Well, Alderman Harriet Gathright is saying there's a flooding problem on Northeastern Boulevard, right?
Yeah, for years. It's not new. It's been there for years and years and years.
That's not, I haven't heard that one, but I can look that up and see if it's a problem area.
It's
There's a
right
mostly-
in front. It's right in front of the hardware store. And the last time we had the real serious rain, I swear to you, it was midway my door. I actually went right through it because I didn't realize it was that deep.
Well, that's, we clean catch basins if they become clogged. Sometimes the wintertime, they get a lot of sand in them, and too much sand can plug the discharge of them, so we can clean them out. But if it's a poor design, then that would be the engineering department we'd have to in that area.
But it's been there. I mean, and I'm serious about that because I've been here
Yeah.
about 36 years now, and it's always been a problem.
I'll ask about that because I don't recall many calls going out there to clean catch basins, but
Yeah.
I believe
Okay.
that would be the issue if there was plugged catch basins around
Well,
there.
could it be that the pipe isn't sufficient size to take in the flow?
And a catch basin, well, it can be,
Yeah.
but usually just clogged. They're usually sized properly. And I'd have to look at the GIS to see if that ties into a nearby water body or if it goes into the sewer.
Can you check it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. get
Mr.
back-
Mayor,
Yes.
if I may, over the years, I've dealt with that. I remember it being on the fire department. My memory serves me. As what Alderman Harriet Gathright says, it's by Bella Tate's Hardware and Murphy Drive, and it goes right across Northeastern Boulevard. And I think it's a remnant of an old brook, and and it basically swells up during the like severe weather, and there's not much you can do with it. It's been like a perennial problem. Maybe it's time to readdress it and look at it again. But like, I think it's more natural. And where it's a brook, I'm sure maybe wastewater doesn't want the brook going into its system, constantly draining, So that may need to be looked at to give it a better place to go, or a catch basin or something. I mean, perhaps maybe an overflow that it can go into.
Yeah, there is a brook that crosses that. I can see it on the GIS. With
Yeah,
12
that's
inch.
what it is. Yeah.
But I don't know if it's that end of the street you're talking about, but there's not
Yeah,
a lot of drainage as far as catch basins go on that end of the street.
Right. If you're looking around Murphy Drive, it's right about there in Bella Tate's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I see.
And if I remember right, the brook has a name, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah. But that's a matter of making sure the culverts are clean. We look at that too. And 12 inch, I don't know if 12 inch is a large enough culvert for that area.
I know when the water is there like that, it's usually anywhere from 50 to 100 yards. It's pretty severe.
Well, let me look at that and I can get back to you
Okay.
and see if there's something we can do, or if that's a engineering issue.
Okay.
I can talk to them.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
All right. Unfinished business, we have none. New business resolutions, we have none. New business ordinances, we have none. Record of expenditures.
Mr.
Alderman Harriet Gathright.
I motion that the Finance Committee has complied with the city charter and ordinance pertaining to the record of expenditures for the period from October 16, 2020 to October 29, 2020 by roll call.
Any questions? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
clerk says yes. Alderwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien,
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes, motion passes. Public comment, any member of the public? Is there any member of the public who would like to speak to the committee? Remarks by aldermen. Do any aldermen have remarks? How about, we missed general discussion. Any general discussion? I don't see any. Alderwoman Clee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to motion to adjourn by roll call, please.
Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Alderman Clee,
Yes.
clerk says yes. Alderwoman Kelly,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien,
Yes.
and Mayor Dodges.
Yes, and the meeting of the Finance Committee is adjourned at 7:31 p.m.